Hi and welcome back to my channel, Into Everything. Today we're going to be unboxing this brand new furnace. This is for basically smelting metals, aluminium, copper. I've even looked into melting salt and casting things like that. Anyway, I'm just going to jump straight into it. I'm going to try and make my videos a little bit shorter because I do tend to waffle on a bit. So in this one, I'm just going to try and get through it. We're going to see basically what you get with a furnace. And the cost is around about $200. So here we go. Let's just show you that. Okay, so these are just some of the furnaces and their numbers. I know it might be a bit bright in some places, but anyway, we're going to skip that. We're just going to move on into the unboxing here. Let's just get some of these bits and pieces off and out of the way. I want to make sure you can see inside. Alright, let's see if I can kind of do this upside down. Here we go. Alright, so as you can see, here's the actual furnace itself. Let's pull the plastic down. Pull it all over. Just want to give you a bit of detail. Look at that. Nice, new, lovely. That's the lid. Look at that. Fantastic. You see that? That's like a clay. This is a crucible. I've already put it in there. This is made of graphite. This is fantastic stuff. Really is, but as you can see with this chip on the bottom, it's a little bit fragile. You may or may not be able to see that. But anyway, yeah, so I'm going to chuck a load of aluminium in here. And actually for my first project, I'm going to be casting my son's foot. So what I'm going to do is actually just take this out of the box and then put it straight back on here, and we'll continue from there. Okay, so now the box is basically to one side. I can go over exactly what it is you get in the box when you order one of these things. Now you can get this either on Amazon or Lazada, quite a few different places. Obviously at the minute with the virus, it might be a bit difficult to get, or it may take a little bit of time, but you should be able to get one if you really want one. Let's just get a better view on this thing. Come out a little bit. There we go, fantastic. Okay, so again, here it is. Open it up, looking super fantastic. Just give you a view of in there as well. Yep, I know my seat needs reupholstering. Okay, so along with the furnace, what you get is some tongs. These tongs enable you to grip the crucible. Basically, put it in, put your metal in of choice, or your choice metal in, and then when it's red hot, take it out, and of course you can pour it, as you can see from this point here. Something I got actually as a free gift, which is very nice of this seller, is 2 heat gloves. So that's pretty cool. These things are very, very important, because if this splatters, it will do more than just burn you. It will probably melt your skin all the way through to the bone and down past the muscles, so you want to be really careful with this stuff. Okay, I'm just going to zoom back out there for you. Fantastic. Alright, so closing the lid carefully. Right, so just tilting this up, we can actually see we have a display here and a power on bottom. Okay, so here it says S.Y. Electronic smelting furnace made in Italy. That's really cool. So on here it's basically in Celsius, and you can set the temperature to a certain point. So for aluminium you would set this for about 700, maybe 750 degrees. It melts at about 660 degrees roughly, aluminium, and copper is about 1160, something along those lines. So yes, very, very cool stuff. So that's basically a quick overall rundown on it. What we can also do is actually just plug it in and just see it turn on, and perhaps we can even see it warm up. Let's do that now. Okay, just a side point, the actual power connector is just on this rear left side. Okay, so now that's plugged in, it's turned the power on. Hope it doesn't get out of bang. Great, so it seems to turn on. Fantastic. Alright, so what we've actually got here now, I don't want to touch this. What I'm going to do is actually put the gloves on, just for safety. Here we go, put the left one on. We're going to get the right one on. And hopefully, I can still control the zoom and the focus. Alright, so I don't know whether that's actually warming up. It should be just fine. It's quite large and hollow in here. I'm going to go ahead and just place this crucible straight in. There we go, it's absolutely fine. And we'll close that up for safety. Alright, yeah, it's fine. Just want to be careful with closing that. Okay, so just down here it says 27 degrees. And I believe you can sort of set it up and down. So let's look at the temperature here. Okay, so that was set for copper 1000. Let's just set it for a very safe 660. Okay. Right. So what's going on here now is the furnace is actually warming up. It's currently at 30 degrees C, 31, and because it's an electric furnace, it will just warm up very, very slowly, taking its time. And this will actually help the crucible inside to last just that little bit longer, which I think is quite important in the long term. Let's just have a quick look on the inside. Okay. Okay, up to 34 degrees. So as you can tell, it will take a little while. I want to be very careful with this. Alright, here we go. I'm going to take that back out. Oh yeah, I can actually smell it burning off on the inside. Let's see if we can get this over. So it's only a few degrees. It should be perfectly safe to put that there. Let's see if we can get the camera over. No, I can't seem to move the camera in anymore. Alright, just for safety, I'm just going to take my time with this. Actually, I will take that camera off the stand. Yeah. So that's what it looks like on the inside. So it's actually quite empty, but that will give a nice even heating. Pop that back on the stand. Fantastic. Okay, yeah, that should give a pretty nice even heating. Up to 70 degrees. So what I'm going to do is just allow it to warm up now, and then once we're up to about 600 degrees, then we'll come back to it, and we'll just close that lid up nice and safely. Put my heat glove on. You don't want to touch any of this metal with your bare hands, so just be cautious, and of course take your time. Now this is actually shielded, so this whole container is shielded. There's absolutely no heat here. All the heat is contained in the container on top. That's why I'm able to have it on this plastic container. This isn't where I intend to actually do my smelting. I'll be doing it in a safer environment when I take it up to the higher temperatures. I've simply just set it to here, to the point where we can actually see the crucible warm up. So I guess what I'll do is just watch the temperature rise. Okay, now we're at 300 degrees. I'm just going to open the lid and see how it's doing on the inside. Yeah, so it's beginning to glow. quite red. Everything seems to be nice and safe. Let's continue. What I'm actually going to do is turn the lights off and we'll continue that way. Then that will be the best way to be able to see the glow. At 400 degrees, I'll raise the camera up and we'll try and see inside. I can actually see a little bit of smoke coming out the top. That's normal. It's known as burn off. So any of the oils in manufacturing or anything like that, or paint, which gets spilled on the inside for whatever reason, it just gets burnt off, and it's called burn in. I think we'll actually stop at 400 just for safety, as this is the first time I'm actually using it, and I don't really want to take any risks on my first time using this device here, just for the sake of a video. However, in the next video I will film it smelting aluminium, and then I will be casting my son's 3-month-year-old foot, which is really, really cool. I think it's his right foot. Okay, so it's 94. I'm actually going to begin raising the camera up. Okay, so at this point we're coming up on 440, 450 degrees. What I'm going to do is actually open it up again and then try and show you the glow on the inside. Okay, 463. Let's take a look inside. Okay, everything seems nice and normal at the moment. Very, very carefully getting the crucible. Here we go. So the crucible is not red. However, you should be able to see the glow of the furnace. That's very cool. Alright, I'm just going to put this back in here. Actually, what I'll do... yeah, I'll have to put it back in here. Right, there we go. Put that back in there for safety. Alright. Fantastic. Okay, so that'll be it for this video. I hope you found it interesting. This is essentially what a home furnace looks like. It's about $200. You need to, of course, buy extra crucibles and other devices such as molds for making little ingots. You can also make your own molds, like I'm going to do with my son's foot, with such devices. Let's just turn this off for safety. 500 degrees now. Here we go. No problem. We're just going to allow that to cool down naturally. So you can also make your own molds, but you need to make some things like this. These are called casks. Basically 4 bits of wood, and you fill it up with sand. So you place it down. I'll just show you here. So here we go. Okay. So what you do is you place this here. It will be flush against the floor, and then you put in what's known as green sand. So that's usually a mixture of sand and some sort of clay. Now you can purchase that online, or you can make your own by getting basically a marine fine sand and a cat litter, which basically says clay on the side. Put it in a mortar and pestle. If you don't know what a mortar and pestle is, I'll show you here one now. Okay, so this is the mortar and pestle. So you put the sand and clay mixture into here, and you basically grind it up into a very, very fine powder. And then what you do is your sprinkler in there, but you need to put your item in there. So I'll just get mine. Okay, so here's my son's foot. So unfortunately it's missing 2 toes there. Somebody broke that. So what you're going to want to do is get talcum powder and just give that a little spray in there. Maybe a little soft brush, and brush it all around. That's going to help with the release from the mold of the foot from the sand and clay mixture. So then you have a sieve, you have your sand in it, and then you'll pat it. It'll all fall down in a very fine mixture, and then you can actually start putting clumps of it in. And once it gets sort of halfway, you can even take one of your mortar or pestle, I forget which one this is. You can actually start patting it down all around. And once it's fully up to here, it's very compact. You'll then take this, turn it over, and the foot will actually be upside down at the top here. and you can just remove this and then pour the mixture in, but you'll end up with sort of a raised bottom. But if you want it identical to this, what you need to do is actually make a second cask and just put that on top like that, and then you'll do the same thing, put some talcum powder on top. So again, this will be about at the halfway point, and then you'll put all the sand in, fill it all the way up, pack it down, then you very carefully release it, and on this side you'll put 2 holes, and that's where you'll pour the aluminium in. I'm sorry, you'll take this out, put the 2 holes for the aluminium to be poured in, and you remove this, and then when it goes down, you can actually have a flat bottom on the top part, you'll have the mold imprint on the bottom part, and you'll have 2 holes for which to pour in, and then you'll know when it's full because the second smaller hole will actually fill up with aluminium as well. Anyway, so I really hope you enjoyed this video from me, SG Alien, aka Into Everything.